my name is Ron OJ Parson. I'm the resident artist at here at Core Theater. And today I'm going to be talking a little bit about waiting for Godot. Now, a lot of people say waiting for Godot, but I'll get into that a little bit more about why we chose to go with Godot because of our experience and my experience with the play and the playwright. You know, working at Core Theater is very interesting because we get to work on classic theater. And so for me, because of my college experience at the University of Michigan, that's pretty much what we did. We pretty much worked on that. I had companies outside of the program that I did my own plays, you know, theaters, Black theater plays and different ethnic groups and minorities and stuff like that. But my degree was working on what the University of Michigan had to offer, and that was classic theater. So that's why I always say, you know, I'm able to do more, or not able to do as much of that as I'd like, because you know, in the real world, sometimes they don't look at you as a classic theater if you're, you know, different. I'm a Black man, so they assume that I didn't, you know, work on classic theater. But at the University of Michigan, that's what we did. So when I approached Charlie about doing Waiting for Godot, I was excited to get started on it if we could do it there, and we were able to do it. And just that fact, calling it Waiting for Godot, that was an interesting thing because a lot of people were, you know, you usually call it Waiting for Godot, which people do. They want to know, what does that mean? Is it waiting for God? Is it waiting for this, waiting for that? Well, I had the pleasure of having my consultant on the play was John Jenkins. Now, John Jenkins assisted Beckett on the play. I couldn't believe it when I went to talk to him, and he said, yeah, you know, when I was a young director, I worked with Beckett on a play. I was like, great. So all the ideas and stuff that I had during the course of rehearsal, I was able to ask him, what do you think Beckett would think of this? What do you think how he would have looked at this? And he was great because we did do it. It was an all African-American production, which I wondered about that. I wondered how would he think about it? And of course, John told me, hey, he would love what you're doing with this play. We did some stuff with the music. Now, you know, there's no sound, but there is singing. And so we had an idea for that. And John was gung-ho. He said, yeah, Beckett would have loved this, man. So Waiting for Godot, I asked him, how did he pronounce it? And that's the way he pronounced it. So that's the way we wanted to pronounce it. So we have a clip here. Oh, yes. Here we are. But be a little more attentive. A.C. Smith, one of my favorite actors. I was able to incorporate some of the actors that I normally use in all my plays, like the August Wilson series. But here they got an opportunity to do something different. It's funny too, Waiting for Godot is something that I was able to bring about some different aspects of these actors and their abilities to be versatile in different plays. Now, they were all classically trained actors, so it's different for them too to be able to do that. On this particular production, I was able to. My consultant was who actually worked with Beckett. He was his assistant when he was a young director, John Jenkins. So I was able to actually ask him, you know, if it was cool what I was doing, if Beckett would have liked it. And he said he enjoyed what I was doing, and we did some things that we were able to incorporate the fact that it was a different cast, you know, than it maybe normally is done. This play, in my opinion, too, is a funny play that people don't realize. You know, when they think of Waiting for Godot, they always think, oh, the seriousness. But we were able to incorporate a lot of humor because Beckett himself was into the Three Stooges and Laurel and Hardy, and so was I. So we were able to make that happen.
No need to worry.
Simply wait.
We're used to it.
So we're waiting. We're used to it. We've been waiting all this time. So it adds another element to it. And there was some things that were said to me after the production, where people who came to see the play, who hated the play. They've always hated the play, but they saw this production and saw it different. They laughed. And a lot of times you don't get to laugh a lot in Waiting for Godot. But with the incorporation of, I had Joe Faust, who works with me a lot on the violence and things on stage, and he came in and incorporated a lot of the comedy. And so we just had a ball doing it. And it's Waiting for Godot, of course, one of the premier classics. So it was just a joy to work on a different play with these actors who have done a lot of the other plays that I've done a lot here, the August Wilson shows. But it just showed a different side of all those actors too, the versatility that they all have. It was a joy.